The fairy tale of both sisters Jasmine and Aliyah Abrams winning medals at these Pan American Games wasn't the case after Aliyah Abrams would have finished 5th in the women's 400 meter on Wednesday evening as the games continued here in Santiago, Chile. It was a bit of a shock, if you want to say, in terms of her performance, given the fact that the time she's been running this season, albeit one has to admit that the conditions here in Chile, especially last evening, were very counterproductive for any sort of fast times. It was raining, it was chilly, and also they had some intermittent heavy winds as well that certainly didn't augur well for any athlete looking to produce fast times. Abrams would have came into that final with a second fastest qualification time at 51.82. In the final, she produced 52.66. The final was won by Chilean Martina Wheel, who had 51.48 as the gold medal time. Certainly off par for Aliyah Abrams, who has a season best actually of 50.20, which also happens to be the country's national record in the 400 meter. So certainly not the way I'm sure Aliyah Abrams would have wanted to end her journey at these Pan American Games. On the other side, Emanuel Archibald, even though I can tell you he was extremely fatigued after that run of 21.08 seconds, managed to get through to the 200 meter final on Thursday evening. I speak to him after. He indicated that it was difficult to say the least. Just the night before, obviously he would have ran to that bronze medal time in the men's 100 meter. So certainly the 200 meter as well is not his usual pet event. He's usually a long jumper 100 meter runner, but given the fact that he has a bit of a niggle, he opted to run the 200 meter. But certainly I would think now he's in a final, albeit his time qualifying for that is a bit off some of the other competitors. He would still want to push himself to see how best he could potentially pick up his second medal and the third for Guyana at these games. Over into Esports, Ronnie Persaud started on a bright note with some really good victories over his Venezuelan opponent. He would have won the Esports Football, his opening match, on penalties after a 1-1 draw, and then the second match in the best of 3, he would have won 9-0 against the Venezuelan. Speak to him, this inaugural edition of Esports stands for electronic sports. He indicated he's happy to come here and get the experience. He's certainly hoping to go deep into the competition, and he's also believe that once the community can grow in Guyana, it can even be more competitive when they get to these stages.
The experience here in Chile, the first Pan Am Games, the Olympics, it's quite an amazing experience. It's out of the ordinary, to be honest. Back home in Guyana, we would host tournaments and it would be very small because the gaming community in Guyana is not as big, but this is an amazing experience, a big exposure for the young gamers that are coming up. I hope you guys can see this as an opportunity. If you want to be like a professional gamer, if you like video games in general and you're competitive, this is definitely a route for the esports. And it's not only e-football, there's like other games such as Mortal Kombat, fighting games, and I think the list will grow.
So apart from Ronnie, who basically, if he gets more victories, is going to progress to the quarterfinals. In terms of the track, it will be Leslie Baird on Saturday in the men's javelin. He will wrap up Guyana's participation at these games. I'm certain that Leslie himself, coming back from some serious injuries, would want to produce his best and hopefully get on the podium. Reported from Santiago, Chile, I'm Akeem Greene.